The stigma surrounding fentanyl overdoses can negatively impact how families mourn their loved ones. Tonight, Cornerstone hosted a candlelight vigil in Tehachapi to allow families to pay their respects peacefully. 23 ABC's Ruby Rivera was at the event and tells us how the vigil also served to educate the public.
Friday's vigil was a way to honor people who have lost their lives due to fentanyl overdoses in Tehachapi since January of 2022. While families mourned, they were also taught how to distribute Narcan in case of an emergency. Event organizers say they hope this will lower the chances of overdoses in the future.
For years, I watched him fight bravely against this disease, but in the end, it won. The disease of addiction has robbed my son of his father. He is my friend and our community of a bright light. I love you, Jake. We miss you.
Several speakers volunteered to share their experiences of losing a loved one to fentanyl, like Veronica Corona mourning the loss of her son's father. Corona has lived in Tehachapi all her life and now works as a substance abuse counselor and domestic violence advocate at Cornerstone. It was actually her idea to create this event.
I felt that it was a need to get the community together to spread the awareness for the remembrance of our lost loved ones. I myself have struggled with several losses that we are honoring tonight.
The idea came to her after hearing about the two most recent fentanyl deaths in Tehachapi. She says she knew she needed to do something. President and founder of Cornerstone, Joshua Pierce, says the more research they did, the more names they found, knowing that this event was critical for the community.
As you can see, we have 36 names just from 2 weeks of getting things out of people who have overdosed or who died because of alcohol or drug-related incidents.
Pierce says he understands that grieving for someone who has died from fentanyl can have a negative stigma attached to it, saying Friday's vigil is a safe space for everyone.
The idea for this event is to raise awareness and to help those in the community grieve well and be able to talk about the losses they've had amongst those who've also had similar losses.
Along with being able to speak freely, the event also had a Narcan training booth where people were able to learn how to administer Narcan in case of an emergency. Corona says as someone who has struggled with addiction herself, she is proud to have been able to spearhead this event.
It's empowering to be where I'm at in my sobriety, to be where I'm at in the community, to be able to support others and just be able to do what I do.
Event organizers say they hope the vigil left families with a sense of closure and are working to hopefully make this an annual event. In Tehachapi, Ruby Rivera, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
And now taking a deeper look into the impacts of synthetic opioids like fentanyl through the state. California Department of Public Health data showing a dramatic increase in deaths from these types of drugs over the years, jumping from 50 in July of 2018 to nearly 450 in July of 2020. CDPH says it's part of a shift in what it calls a triple wave epidemic of overdose deaths. The first wave of deaths began in 2000 due to prescription opioids. In 2007, heroin was the leading cause of overdose deaths, and since 2013, fentanyl and other synthetic opioids have taken hold.